If you're here for the swingers panel, this is the wrong room.
Hey everyone, welcome to Pop XP. And before the show starts, make sure to click that subscribe button and click the bell to get notifications when we go live and we upload awesome new content. And don't forget, if you can, make sure to share our stream on all your social media outlets. We appreciate it, and thanks for helping us grow the Pop XP channel.
So these are questions compiled by Niall Scala, my partner on our YouTube channel, the Pop XP, which we're approaching our 500th episode. I want to say it's been an honor that everyone on this panel has graced our panels, and thank you. I have to point here.
I think you meant and graced our lives.
And it's happy hour.
I was from Scotch.
We'll grace each other's lives. Here, it's nice to meet you.
Yeah, Brian, maybe would you like to have everyone introduce themselves?
Let's have everybody introduce ourselves. Why not? We're going to start with the back of the room. Hey, let's start with that fine young man at the very end there, the one and only, powerful, handsome, debonair.
Well done.
Introduce yourself there.
I was probably Scotch.
I'm Terry Moore.
Jeff's got this guy.
And I draw the stuff, but the business, Abstract Studio, the business of my art is run by my wife.
Me.
Power player, who are you?
I'm Robyn Moore.
Okay. Robyn Moore!
I see my portrait coming in the.
Jimmy, can I get some of that?
Yeah, absolutely.
He's having his food.
So,
I'm sorry. Give
Had to move the bottles back, so.
yeah. You guys seem like yeah. All right. All right.
Next.
Oh, next. Okay, I'm Jimmy Palmiotti, and this is.
Comic books, everybody.
I'm better than mayor. Politics these days. I don't know.
Supreme leader.
Yeah.
Milky, I need my
I guess it's me next. I'm Jeff Smith, Cartoon Books, and my brains is not here.
You have your own room though.
All right, and I'd like to, if I may, I'd like to introduce my wife, the executive director of Crusade Comics, Deborah Tucci. I'm teen sensation Billy Tucci.
Please allow me to introduce to you the president of Coffin Comics, the woman who makes the engine roar, Francisca Pulido.
There you go.
I'd like to introduce to you the one, the only, the man of the hour.
The king of
The
crowd
king
of Kickstarter.
of Kickstarter. The creator of Lady Death, Evil Wing, Purgatory, Chastity.
Who was it?
Hell Witch.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Brian Pulido.
I'd like to introduce Mr. Michael Soloff, who will be our MC today.
Please. Is anybody underage in here?
Oh.
How about your own child?
No.
No.
He doesn't count.
We put, so Niall Scala, my co-host on the Pop XP, compiled a bunch of questions, so Mike will be asking everyone a question each. Then there'll be questions for the panels, and we'll open up to you guys if you have any questions. And if I may, if we
Get
get
it wrong, do we have to take a shot?
Yes. And this panel started that during COVID, we pretty much did a live stream of what we do at Comic-Con anyway, which is hang out afterwards and drink. And just have a good time and enjoy each other's company. And it's been a true privilege being friends with all of you guys all these years. I remember when Harvard. Yes, it has. As I say, I like to say I'm the kid brother that Brian never wanted. But all of them, Debbie and I came in. This is Debbie and I's first Comic-Con was 1994 when we had Crusade Comics. She had just came out. We knew nothing. And Brian and Francisca and Jeff and Vijaya, and they really took us under their wing and just introduced us to everyone. And of course, and Jimmy and Amanda, that they introduced all the mainstream people. And of course, Robyn is just wonderful. And hello, Terry. Hello, Terry. And of course, Terry Moore has he's been just a guiding light of sanity through all this. And
So let us toast to our amazing friends.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, so let me start the questioning here. Question number 1 for the entire panel, please. Who made the first move to ignite your relationships? Terry?
Terry?
We'll keep switching back and
Well,
forth.
I guess I first met Deb. If you talk about, well, I got a crush on her in high school. She was the cutest girl in high school. And I remember walking by her down the hall thinking I would marry her. And I didn't know her name yet. And then I stared at her all through senior year because I was too stupid to talk. And then finally she came up to me and said, stood right in front of me and said, you made me talk. And that's it, here we are.
Oh, very nice. Very good. Amanda seduced me on a beach. She made the first move.
I did.
Was I there?
Were you there? Yeah, you were under us.
Oh.
Were you there? No, you weren't there.
We came both, it was Fire Island, so we were drinking a lot. I think it goes hand in hand.
Don't blame the booze.
I blame you.
Okay, well, there you go.
And he was irresistible.
We were friends for years.
Yeah, we were friends for a long time
Before she put the moves on me. We were friends for years.
Yeah.
We were, simple.
Wonderful. You're going to back that story up?
Yeah, he's right. I did. I kissed him first.
Yeah. I totally had to make the first move in Vijaya. She, I forget. It was some crazy thing. Like I had a date with another girl, another woman, but she didn't have a car. And she said she was going to pick me up. And she sent Vijaya to my house to pick me up.
That didn't
Bad move. But then Vijaya was like, I was thinking this, I like this girl, beautiful. But she was like, but you're on a date with my girlfriend. She thought I was going to be an asshole. But I was like, but it's still. Asked her for a number and she gave it to me.
Oh, there you go.
Very nice.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
You want to take this?
You
and I'll
take it,
just-
you take it.
So we met in college, and it's kind of which
stalked
meeting? I guess, but that's not how we ended up.
Oh, then we met in the elevator.
Yeah.
Yes, we did. Yeah. So we went to FIT in New York City, the Fashion Institute of Technology, and it was awesome because there was 8 girls every guy. Every guy forget. So I had it either way. I could do it. It was awesome. Hello. And it was great. So, but I remember seeing in New York City. So I remember seeing her because Debbie had a job and she was a fashion. You were a merchant guy? No, you were a home furnishings major, right?
Oh, yes, but I had a job in fashion.
Right. So every day she wore like skirts and heels and dresses just like she does today. And I'm like, oh my God, and I just saw her and stuff, and then apparently I didn't know that you liked me. Oh, so in the elevator. Yeah, so.
So I was I was
That's why you liked your
I was
shirt.
very
which I didn't.
industrious. Yeah, you hated the shirt.
Yeah,
when
this
you told me
terrible
you liked
shirt.
it.
I'm like,
So,
I like the shirt.
the first time I met him was in an elevator, and he said he liked the shirt I had on and that it was cool. And I later found out he hated it. He just used it as an excuse to talk to me. And then probably a few months after that, you helped me with the boxes.
Yeah,
I was trying to. I was carrying a lot of boxes to my aunt in the lobby,
And street. You got a big box, and I walked in the elevator. I'm like, oh my God, no,
carrying that for you.
Come on now.
And I was like, oh.
It's not that kind of
Too much
panel.
information.
No, so she was carrying a big box, and she so being the gentleman, wait a minute. Being the gentleman I am, that I said, oh, and I went, oh my God, there's that girl. So I'm like, oh, I'll take that for you, and I held the box.
Oh my
and
God!
I said, in my hands. Big box. And then I said, wait, well, where are you going with this? And she goes, oh, to that woman out there on the street, which was her aunt.
It was my aunt that was in the lobby.
And,
Was her aunt carrying any boxes?
No. So I walked out and I
No,
couldn't.
she was
So
not.
yeah. So then what I do? So I said, okay.
So he said, all right, I'll carry it. So he walked it over to my aunt and put it at her feet. And then as I tried to say thank you, he just turned around and went away and didn't even wait for me to say thank you.
Boss move.
So then I started talking to the girl.
So I see we're going to learn a lot about making comics.
So for me, I got hired as a makeup artist to do makeup and hair on a low-budget movie. I go to the movie set, and now mind you, at this point, I was only dating like your European-looking guys that looked like somebody. So it's just like, you've got to be like new wave, European, blah, 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 blah. Get to the set, and this guy comes up to me, and he's got a Metallica jacket, like some sort of thing, and he's got like long hair and a hat and rain gear, and I'm like, who is this person? He shakes my hand, he's like, hi, I'm Brian Pulido, assistant director. I said, hi, I'm Francisca from the to makeup in here. And the loudest voice I ever heard in my life said, this is the man you're going to spend the rest of your life with. And I'm like, what? I'm literally packed, ready to move to Holland. I have a job with Cosmopolitan magazine. I'm gonna marry this heavy metal dude. And so next day, I asked my friends that night, and they're like, yeah, that happened to my parents. I go to the next day, and I walk around the corner. I'm like, okay, if I look at him again, and I feel that, I know this is it. I walk around the corner, and they're leaning up against the ladder, wearing baby blue corduroy OP shorts. I know, I'm already getting excited. And a Thrasher t-shirt with the sleeves cut off.
Showing the gun.
Showing the guns. He's got his tube socks on.
Right under the knee, man.
I'm in love. So I spent the rest of the time just completely like, oh my God, I have to marry him. So I think mentally I made the first move.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, that's cool.
And I still feel that way.
Our next question here is for Jimmy and Amanda. And since you guys have worked on many projects together, has there been a moment during a project that really tested your relationships as a married couple?
Oh my God. Like one? You just need like one example? Like I think when we were working on Harley and doing 3 books a month, I think that was testing everything. Like we were writing 3 books a month. She was doing covers and another book too. So we were writing another book for someone else. And yeah, we absolutely butt heads and
We both think we're right.
well.
We have that.
Anyway, so we do. We both really believe we're right every time. But as much as we would fight, we'd have a laugh moment where it would be like ridiculous, yelling. Then we'd start laughing.
Well, how does that work?
I'm Irish.
I'll take a video next time.
And he's Italian, right? So I just, I start ramping it up and I get more and more angry and I just, I'm starting to spit fire. And then he'll make me giggle.
Yes, it's either that or run the other way. So she's like she's sweet, but she's scary. like people don't get to see that. I don't think any of you guys ever saw Scary Amanda. No.
Only sweet Amanda.
Yeah. Nothing can be sweet always. You remember that? But no, I mean, that's also part of the creative process, because if we don't agree on something, we're trying to find something else, and a lot of times, a lot of good things come from that. So it is a part of the process. I would say, if we just agreed on everything, there would be a level where the work was okay. I think when we disagree and we try to find some kind of thing in the middle, we actually found some cool stuff happening. So.
I mean, Harley, we had written together before, but Harley is when we did our most extensive amount of writing together. And like, I think it was on issue 2 or something, where Jimmy was just like, wait a minute, you changed that. And I'm like, yeah, I changed it. And you're...
I made it better.
That, right there.
You know, and I think, I don't think that he was expecting that, and I don't think I was expecting him to be so surprised. So we butted, that was the first time we really butted heads on something that we had written together.
Yeah,
but
now it's normal.
But now it's sort of
now we don't like...
We sort of know what to expect.
I've actually written something and handed it in, and then she just rewrote all the dialogue, and she says, you want to read it? And I'm like, no, I'll read it when it comes out. Because I'm like, I trust in that. I trust that it's gonna be better if she has her hands on it.
Wow. So you were doing 4 books a month?
We were about doing around...
It went from between, like, it started out as 1 book a month, but then it started ramping up to like 1 book a month and then a 38-page special. And then they wanted more, specials, right? And then all of a sudden they were like, okay, we need you to do, I think like, at a point, it was starting to be bi-weekly plus specials. And
well, you were drawing it too?
No,
just
doing a couple. But we were doing,
that's insane.
We did like 120 something issues of Harley, 125.
We used to do Jonah Hex yourself or Hex.
You guys, for people that don't know how long it takes to do that process?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Do you have a time?
I mean, we had deadlines, so it just kind of, I would just go downstairs. We work in separate rooms, so separate floors.
Yeah.
And, very important. So we would just constantly work. It was bad.
We actually went to therapy.
Yes.
Because I was like, all right, you're my roommate now. We're not even like together anymore. You're just my roommate.
We did. Therapy was good.
Yeah.
It worked out pretty good.
Thank God.
We did. We talked about that. I talked about the first time I saw Terry. My therapist all the time. He was back late, which I kind of prefer.
Well, guys, our next question is for the entire
Real quick,
panel.
Robyn, how many books a month does Terry do?
He's drawing them.
About as many as Billy does.
He's drawing them.
He does one every 6 weeks. How many do you do, Billy?
What?
Oh, yeah.
Every 6 weeks? How many books?
He does a comic book every 6 weeks. I hate it. He does a comic book. He writes it and draws it every 6 weeks, and never misses a deadline. It makes me crazy.
Okay, the next question here is for the entire panel.
Hang on, because we had dinner with George Perez, and he made me feel so good, but you were wanting to stab me because George, God, I did 12 books this year. Remember George? And then I danced a cha-cha at my niece's wedding and all this stuff, and Terry, I'm like, oh, thank God.
God bless George.
God bless George.
Here's a George.
That was so fun. Terry kept, remember Terry, I think he was dropping his silverware every time George would say something.
George was so great at everything, but he was just like, and Robyn always called him the perfect man, because he would do all these great comic book deadlines, then he'd go home, and he would do all the activities for his wife, and then he would rub his wife's feet at night and all that, and Robyn just melted. And she said, is there anything you can't do? And he stopped and thought about it for like 20 seconds. He said, I'll get back to you on that. The next morning he came down and he said, you know what, I don't know how to ride a bicycle. And she said, okay, you're still perfect. It was the kind of guy like we were in Spain one time, we were in a little 3-story hotel and I was waiting for the lift on the 3rd story. He comes jogging by and he heads for the stairs. He says, what's the matter, Terry? Your leg's broken?
I early on had the pleasure to interview George, and one of the things that I remember most, the answers, this was from 10 years ago, and I'll never forget this answer because it meant more to me than anything that I've ever heard from anyone that I've talked to. And I asked him what was the most important thing in his life? What was he wanting to be most remembered for? And he said, I want to be most remembered for loving my wife more every single day.
Oh my God.
And that just, I know. And I just love that.
And he meant it. Here, here.
Yeah,
Up
absolutely
north.
meant it.
Mr. George.
Okay, so, how does it feel to be friends and rocking the whole comic convention thing 25 years now on since you guys all started?
25, 30.
That's 25 plus is kind of important.
Yeah. Almost
beyond.
18.
Go ahead.
I don't know. I'm grateful.
Yes.
You know, because there's no free lunch in comics, man. You got to invent yourself, reinvent yourself, keep going.
And the question is about the relationship.
That's really precious. I mean, you wouldn't imagine that maybe some of us couples would know each other, have acquaintanceship, or be peers. And I mean, a small thing. I mean, I've always have deep and profound respect with everybody in the panel. Maybe a little less with Billy.
A lot with
I
Debbie.
bother him. I bother
A
him.
lot with Debbie, a little less with.
No, so all kidding aside, too, to be to have these folks as friends and peers, and to kind of just have to be like you guys probably feel, just to interact is incredible. I mean, there really is only one of each of these people on this panel. They're just incredible people who've made a mark in this industry that we just adore so much, and that I guess, speaking for myself, just faded to. Like I had aptitude for other stuff, like but comics chose me.
Yeah, that's a good. It shows you.
Yeah.
That's a great.
It does pick you, doesn't it?
What's that?
It picks you because
Yeah.
it's like, why would you choose
Correct.
to like kill yourself on something, and especially
It's
when
not our
you-
fault then.
when you gotta understand, when we first got into comics, there was so little respect for it. And I remember it was just like so many people going, "You want to do what?" You know, and it looked like somebody smeared a turd on their upper lip because they would like wrinkle up their noses and go, "Why are you doing that?"
I was told when I got into comics that there would be a lot of really fast cars.
Yeah. Those are image years. Yeah. Right?
Yeah, I mean, how much?
Somehow I misunderstood.
They were passing you by, right?
Yeah.
I always said the worst pickup line is, what do you do for a living? I make comic books. Like, you might as well say I'm a puppeteer. Same response.
Now it has changed though.
It has changed.
I used to say cartoonist. Well, I still say cartoonist. But there was definitely a change in people's faces. Now I say, I used to say comic book, and they'd be, oh, that's. And then, but
Do
now
they
I
ask you,
say,
what do you draw? Like, for who? Do you like Batman?
Snoopy.
no.
Yeah,
They
but
say
you say
graphic
cartoonist.
novels, graphic novel or something. They're like, cool.
Yeah.
Really, everybody.
It's a different world now.
It's totally different.
It's a different world.
I mean, what other world can you have yacht rock?
Is that what we are?
We're
yacht
totally
rock?
yacht rock.
We don't have a yacht. We don't have a yacht. We don't have a yacht.
But they got rock.
But the
Do Christopher Cross say where I'm going?
But the
Don't tell anybody.
Billy, shut up! Shut up, Billy! Oh my God! Shut up!
So anyways, I'm answering the question. The really cool thing about this group of people is that we were all, besides that they're all cool, is that we all kind of stepped our toes into the whole crowdfunding Kickstarter thing, and then we just kind of inspired each other to come in. You know,
I'll go one step further.
Not all of us.
Because I was going to kind of piggyback on that. And I know everybody else on this panel at one time or another has raised the bar for Billy and I. And I think there's I don't want to call it a challenge, but we want to keep in good company, you know? We want to deserve the seat that we have with this circle of friends that we have.
Well, we all
And
started at the same time.
Yeah,
right.
completely at the same time.
Outlaws, we were all outlaws.
Literally. Literally.
Yeah.
But not in a cool way. Wait, I take that back. It was totally a cool way. It was so cool.
We were totally cool.
I would assert this group wants us all to comments. Yeah, just saying.
Amen.
Yes, Holland?
These guys were so long ago that they all had mullets.
Jerry, are you making fun of the fact that I had hair?
I would like to say that
Terry doesn't have hair?
I was rocking the bald look 40 years before it was.
I don't know, Terry. I'm thinking Comic-Con 1994. I think you might have been rocking the Ben Franklin. I think you might have been. Look at Robyn. But Terry really is an amazing musician. And he is phenomenal. And, you know, so if he wasn't an Eisner Award, you know, Inkpot, you know, recipient, giant superstar cartoonist, he would be a Beatle. You're a rock star. I think you could have been totally a rock star.
And actually, in truth, we really did all have models. Yeah. They're terrible. Well, you were right. Oh, yeah, Teen Sensation.
Billy's mullet makes a resurgence once a year on Facebook.
July 17th, 1986.
It is true.
You walked by and you said, "Oh, look how cute my husband was." You did say that time. And I did put her hand.
was so sexy.
I have no apologies.
Can you do me a favor and like this weekend, put my favorite picture of you two on? It's like, there's a picture of...
Is it Debbie throwing the bottom of it?
I have it on my phone. It is their entire relationship in one single image. And if you like post that this weekend, then people will understand what I'm talking about.
Is it Debbie throwing a bottle at him?
It's Debbie, they're at a party, I assume.
Yes, an engagement party.
Right? And here's Billy.
Yeah.
And here's Deb.
And I'm dressed in, I don't know what, paisley.
Well, you have a mullet.
No, yeah. And Debbie's in her business, in this periwinkle business suit. That's her suit with her skirt and her pumps, and she's like, and you have a real drink, and I got like a fucking beer.
She looks like she's going to be exhausted for the rest of her life.
But she'll never be bored.
But never.
I said you'll never be bored.
Okay, guys.
Okay.
Let's
Oh, God. Sure. What have we been doing? I thought we were talking about comic books.
And we'll get steamy with Robyn and Terry.
Okay. Well, in that case,
Strangers in Paradise is known for quite a love triangle among the three main characters.
I love how your
Was
voice
this
is
perhaps influenced by real life situations?
Do tell, Tex.
I'm just going to tell you my sister's name is Terry as well.
Oh,
Sisters.
plot thickens. It's just
way more complicated than we
I didn't see that coming.
I did not see that.
I didn't see sisters coming.
I did not see that.
I woke up this morning, I'm like, what?
line, cross it.
That's all you're getting.
That's all we're getting. Okay. Now, this one's for you and your wife. I'm going to phrase it towards you, although officially it was sort of aimed towards her. We know she does an amazing job writing cartoon books, but
Books Vijaya, we miss her.
We'll see you tomorrow.
She'll be here Saturday. Tomorrow night she'll be here late. Yes.
do you think there was ever a time that she wanted to branch out on her own, do her own sort of thing?
Oh, no. You know, you were talking about how you thought you were right. I am always right, and I know Jane's not here really, but she would say that.
Sounds reasonable.
Oh, okay, obviously that's completely.
That sounds very reasonable.
Jeff's a Leo, by the way.
No, you know, I don't know if there were times when she wanted to branch out. I do know that she plays a large part in, like, our named roles are, she's like the president, I'm the treasurer, which that's hilarious.
Wow. How did that happen?
Well, I
That's like making you in charge of the money.
Yeah,
I'm actually not in charge of it.
oh, okay.
I'm a cartoonist. I can't spell or act.
Yeah.
But she became president because she had a job, and I was trying to start a comic book. She basically said, okay, she liked my comics. So she said, you have like a year. And so I owned an animation studio. I sold my share to my partners, and I was going to take a year, 6 issues, and if we had no reason to believe it would keep going, then I would stop. I would go back to animation. So, but she had a real job. So, but there we go. We're going for about we're almost through a year. Sales are not going very good, but we're starting to get a few good reviews in like Comics Buyer's Guide and Comics Journal and stuff. So I'm like, we got it. I want to keep going. And so I said, why don't you could just join me. And things had started to pick up. I was starting to get reorders and things, so I'm like faxing
orders.
Anybody remember
And faxing was cutting edge.
It was. And FedEx was like, ooh, super cool. Anyway, she had a job, and I wanted her to quit her job and join me because I felt like there was enough good reviews and sales were just starting to show a sign of life that if she came in and ran the business side, I mean, she was already doing my accounting and stuff. She was already helping me a lot. But I meant like seriously. And so I said, you could be the president.
So you dangled the carrot.
I did well.
That was her dream to be in comics.
But I actually printed up little business cards with her name on it and said, sorry, president.
Oh, you laid it on thick, did
I
you?
laid it out. Hey man, I needed her. I needed her. And it took me about 6 months even after that to like really get her in. But during that time, sales did start to pick up, and so she came in, and when she took over all the distribution and lawyers and dealing with printers and stuff, I just got to concentrate on the book, and things did start.
So you need.
But you also
very much. I mean, really, without Vijaya, screw it, I would have been worthless. And she participated a great deal in the content. Half the things that Smiley Bone said were things that Vijaya actually said.
Oh, really?
She's not crazy about it when I say that. But she says things like, oh, a sandwich is being born. As we're making oh, Smiley Bone's going to say that.
Now, but that was great because you by the time we had met, you'd become very high profile.
Yes.
Within a year. I mean, extraordinary, explosive success.
Yep.
I remember it was '94, you killed at the Oscars. You had that double-breasted suit. Well done, old John. The Oscars. The Oscars. But there was some controversy. Remember there was some controversy because Vijaya was the president of cartoon books.
Yeah.
Remember there was some blowback in a way. Remember?
Only
from a certain
Dave
person.
Sim fans.
Yeah, and like, and you shut that shit down. No, it was great how they shut that down, and it was inspiring. It's like, what, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
But I remember, like, wait, your wife? Like, well, yeah. Well, look at me now. Look where you are right now.
Dave and I were, Dave Sim, Sarah, were very good friends. And he decided we weren't going to be friends anymore. And one of the ways he started kind of going after me was calling up, saying that I wasn't a self-publisher, I was a wife publisher.
Oh.
Wow. Oh. I was like, yeah, fuck you, man. Let's not forget that his wife, Denny Loubert, ran his entire company until they got divorced. He was a wife publisher, but he pretended to forget that.
So we're all wife publishers.
Yeah.
Guys, let me open up the question.
Only because the guy.
We marry smart, beautiful women. I'm sorry, Terry, what were we gonna say?
I just noticed that the wine is from Groff.
Oh my God, the wine is what?
From Groff. You got that wine, that's good.
It's not like the old days.
Oh, cardboard's fantastic.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry, we're boarding you.
No, that's fine.
We're drinking the good stuff down here?
Guys, I just want to amplify the fact that Amanda just said, I married a good-looking cartoonist.
Guys, I want to open up that to the whole panel. At any time during your journey, have you ever separately said, I need my own career, I need to do my own thing?
Last Tuesday.
Yeah, that's like a revolt.
No,
That's not logical.
Careful, brother.
I left Coffin Comics to go to college. We got 15 minutes? Thank you. To go to college to get my degree in interior design. Chaos Comics. I like mine. But leaving Chaos to go and get my degree in interior design. So I went and did that. And then at that same time, I also published my own cookbook, which was absolutely beautiful.
Yes.
Yes, it was.
The
Indonesian
Okay, Indonesian.
So I did. I went and I did that. I learned a lot of stuff. I got to be very creative. It was wonderful. But when it was time to come back in and help get it in order and run it, I'm all in. Because whatever Brian Pulido creates will always be a million times more amazing than what I can ever create.
Oh,
Very sweet.
So
I want to kiss you guys right now.
So I get to still do a lot of really creative things, but I get to do my favorite thing in the world, which is create this space in order for my husband to create.
Yeah.
So, it's
If I can answer for my wife, so my wife. So my wife, I married a brilliant woman. Like I said, I'm just like Jeff. I feel that
I am also a brilliant woman.
I'm also like, I'm Jeff's younger cousin he never wanted. But but I married a brilliant woman who had an amazing career. And she was a rock star in her field, like a rock star in home furnishings. And then we took off, right? Like you did, Jeff, like Brian you did, like Terry did, like Jimmy did, like Amanda did. We took off. And then she gave it all up. Her like I said, she in her industry, which is the home furnishing, which is way bigger than comics, believe. Shit, now I'm getting a little emotional. Well, this guy. But she gave it all up for us, and she gave up everything. She gave up her career for Crusade, for Crusade Comics.
For my husband.
Yeah, for her husband. She gave it up, and she spent the past 25 years, raising our kids, a family. She really did. She gave it all up, and she kind of lost, I feel, and a bit of your identity was lost in a way. Because you gave everything to us. I mean, you've been everything. You've done everything. Every wrestling match that I have to travel. I'm at Miss Wrest. My son's at All County Wrestling. He could be state champion. My son really. Yeah, you go. No. Go to states. Maybe. Go to states. Maybe. Too much time into this. Anyway.
Matthew, Scotch or wine?
Both. But now my wife, now we have the luxury that thank God to COVID and all you guys, especially you guys, and Jimmy and Amanda, and Jeff, you went through it, and we're trying to get Robyn and Terry to do Kickstarter. To do crowdfunding.
We're gonna just drag you.
Yes, we're gonna. And it was really life-changing for us. And now we've had, hey, what's up, y'all? And now we've done, and we've had the best 2 years that we've put out. How many books? 5, 6 projects we've launched and fulfilled in the past 2 years. Yeah, 6 or whatever. Okay, whatever. But we've had the best year. This has been the best 2 years since 1998. Wow. You know, but now my wife now. So my wife now has a health and wellness business, and now because she has a bit of her own self, and I see her now being
a little bit of something from me.
Yeah, but now I benefited
all
from
the
it.
testosterone in my house.
Yes, it's all boys, we're all men, they're all animals.
It has
we're all
nothing to do with
animals.
being an animal.
Yeah, we fight with just psychopaths. Okay, but now that we have, like, she has her business now, and now I benefited from that because I lost how much weight? I'm in the best shape. I saw pictures of me from 2019, that picture that Francisca took of me and Brian, compared to the picture we took 2 years ago, whatever it was.
Yeah.
I look like 10 times better.
Yeah.
And
He does say so himself.
Like I'm eating healthy and all this, you know what I mean? Like that sort of thing. So
Here's Billy's specs.
all right. Here's to Deborah. I want to Deborah. And so.
Getting back to the question,
Yeah,
like,
sorry,
you talked about oh my God, I need a career change. Dad, if you ever want to design furniture with me?
Genesis event.
Right here.
Right here.
Baby.
Baby.
Ooh, they're
So that makes it like a side hustle, and I'm all about it.
So is this the birth of Amandeb Home Furnishings? Design Amandeb?
No, it's
Like we demanded to get that.
I mean, I do that whenever I'm like drawing comics. I'm just like, I'm going to invent some cool furniture for this.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm just
Really?
Like, I wish
I
could be
still
here.
have some of those.
I've never done that.
5.0 North Carolina.
No, I hate drawing furniture.
I've never said.
Look at
Here
these
comes the
rulers and there's that. What's that giant grid with all your vanishing points?
Of the perspective.
Oh, you art school guys.
And procreate.
Robyn, what are you going to do?
I'm going to the beach.
Oh.
I'll tell you what's rare. I'll tell you what's going to tell you what's rare. All the creators, everybody up here, we're all friends.
Yeah.
It's not so much with all the other comic creators. I gotta be honest with you, you have to like work really hard with some of these people, and they have like major egos. Like I know when I started writing, 90% of the writers didn't want to talk to me.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, they hated that I was writing. They were like, well, you're an inker, you should just be inking. You know, like I had a lot of pushback.
Oh, yeah.
And never for a second, this crowd up here, this whole crowd, we're all about like, what are we gonna do next? What exciting thing we have? And we don't see each other, I mean, like, last time we saw a lot of you guys 3 years ago, 4 years ago, but it's like we hung out yesterday. And I know everybody in this audience has that friend that you don't see for a while, and then you see them, and it's like you just saw them yesterday, and you're just catching up. And that's the beautiful part about this whole crowd is, honestly, we all went on a cruise, we would sink the ship, but we'd have, you know, it's like a group of people that we all want each other's success so bad. Like we all are rooting for each other, and it doesn't happen that often. It's really sad because the business is made up of a lot of crazy people that just don't. They're just in their own heads, or they take joy in others' failure. And we know we all have people in our lives that like do that. Like they just, or the minute you leave, they talk badly about you. And we don't have that. With this group, we all want each other to be billionaires so we can crash in their pool houses. You know, definitely, I think, and so I want to raise a toast to that because it's a rare thing, and I love all of that.
Comics.
Which kind of brings us to an interesting point. Everybody here is a pretty darn powerful personality. How do you deal with the other spouse? How do you deal with these wonderful, powerful beasts that are here?
He makes me laugh.
I make Vijaya laugh.
Yeah.
I make Brian laugh.
Laughing and a lot of respect. Laughing and respect is like the mutual thing I think we all have.
Equality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We are partners. Jay and I, there's no, she is not working for me. I'm not working for her. We are partners. And what she says has equal weight in every way.
And they get a little more weight.
I agree. My house is always.
And Jimmy, you had said that you guys were friends, but we remember you guys were like best friends.
Yeah, we were.
Jimmy and Amanda. And they were like, and remember we were like,
So,
they should just get, why aren't they together? This
to
is-
elaborate
yeah.
on the Fire Island thing. So I have an ex-husband, but at the time he was my husband, and Jimmy had a girlfriend.
Right.
And we, you know, I
Woo! Hold on.
we started this good. I know it sounds
Wow.
more salacious than it actually is.
No, we're
They
not.
were making out with each other.
We're listening. We're listening.
So, like, we started hanging, like, there was like a whole giant group of us that were all hanging out. And then my marriage fell apart. And right about the same time, your ex-girlfriend left you for another, like, a musician.
She wanted to get married and have kids, and I told her.
You weren't ready.
I wasn't there.
Yeah,
You said you
were
don't
ready.
like music.
You were 18 years old. I said, I don't like your kids.
And I think my ex-husband and I just had like totally different ideas of
Great guy, though. I like seeing
No,
him.
he's
Great guy.
I still get on with him.
We
But
still
we just
like-
like
He just wasn't for her.
totally
Wasn't
different.
for her.
Yeah, he's a great guy, but he's
Great guy.
not the guy for me.
Yeah.
You know?
It
And
happens.
our marriage fell apart, and then like after a while, Jimmy and I were like, hey, wait a minute.
No, you jumped me in. You said, wait a minute. Amanda, you said
I
that.
said, hey, wait a minute, I like
minute.
this guy.
And Amanda, you were quite the kitten.
Yeah.
You are, so there's no way he's gonna resist that.
There's actually pictures of Amanda with Kitty.
I'm rethinking
And for skunks, too.
the wisdom of this panel.
Yeah. So yeah, I knew you for like 4 years before I,
No, you actually, when I wasn't going well with Carrie, you kind of set me up with some girlfriends. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they told me.
So none of y'all learned anything about how to make comics.
Comics. Oh, and then we made comics.
Real quick, does anyone have any questions?
Yeah, questions.
Please, you go. There's a microphone.
Okay.
You can take your mask off.
Aren't you glad they're drinking wine?
I don't think I can take my mask off.
Well, then,
I don't think
Thank
I'm
you for
supposed
leaving it
to.
on.
I work in Hollywood, which can sometimes involve a lot of travel and like long periods of time that I'm on a set or without a potential partner. And comic writers, creators have cons that they have to travel to all the time and book tours and all these things. And I'm wondering how you manage that in relationships if you have to be apart.
Masturbation.
Go together.
Masturbation. Goes a long way.
Or traveling together. I really don't know, but yeah.
So we couldn't always travel together because I
Yeah.
had kids who were in school. I don't know how we necessarily manage it. You just kind of do it. You know, a lot of phone calls, a lot of pre-planning, a lot of fly-by-night phone calls in the middle of the night. Oh my God, this happened. I don't want to make this decision by myself, and vice versa. This guy came to the booth. This is your deal, and he would put me on the phone to this customer.
I
We
sell
keep the woman away from Billy, too.
Yeah.
When Billy's at a con and you're not there, we like.
No, that was Terry's
Listen, man.
Terry ratted
Listen,
me out
man,
that time.
he's taken.
Oh my God, that's
So yes, we all spy for each other.
Yes. It's a little network of like us keeping an eye on each
We're actually
other.
just watching out for each other.
It was Terry Moore grabbed my wife and said, "Who's Nancy?"
What Nancy are you talking about? I said, that one over there at the bar with Billy right now.
She showed up.
I have to go.
Do you want to tell this? So, she said she liked me.
You don't want to have this conversation.
I'm learning so much. I'm learning.
We all look at out
And then he
each
walked
other.
by and said, "I'm going to goodbye." And there was this woman who was setting up.
You don't want to have this conversation.
Oh, there you go.
It's huge.
All right.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
I don't know
Why
what
don't we
else.
just travel together?
Yeah, we try to.
We travel a lot together.
And if there's one that's singles that weekend, then
Oh,
I get
cool.
adopted into the group and, like, okay. So like, there was only one, usually Robyn and I are only a few feet apart. You met Robyn, you could be like, but there was one time, only a couple of times I've had to go by myself, and these guys see me alone, and it's just like, okay, you come to dinner with us. So that's how it works.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good question.
Thank you.
That was a great question.
Anyone else?
Please wrap up if you
Please
have a
wrap up.
question.
What
Next
more
question.
question?
One question. No.
Bob Chapman?
Oh, yes, question.
Oh,
This person right here has a question. Come on up.
Yes, sir.
Come on up.
You guys, we'll do it.
You can ask us later.
Please, into the microphone, not the camera, thank you.
Hello, yeah.
How you doing, buddy?
They're both machines, I don't know.
We all don't, bro.
So I want to ask, Jeff Smith, you were talking about when you were starting comics, you had the first year you were doing it, but I also know you've talked about taking out a business loan to start doing comics. Was that when Vijaya signed on? Was that part of that? Or have other people made business plans for your comics groups or whatever?
That was when Vijaya kind of took control.
Okay.
She said, because I was like, hey, I have this great idea for a comic, and she saw my comic. She liked the comic, but she said, you need to make a business plan. And this was back before internet, so I had to go to the library and get a book.
You know how to make a business plan?
I had to get a book out of the library.
What's a business plan?
I had to go.
What's a book?
I had to go.
What's a book?
I had to go get a library card so I can borrow books on
Panels next time.
So,
When you're done.
but that's actually a very good question. But that was for real.
But was that after the year of you doing it, or was that
No,
before?
that was prior.
Okay.
So, yeah, she said, you need to make a business plan, because she just had a more practical mind than I.
Have other people done things like that?
I've adopted it since then. I don't, but she said, don't be foolish. And I would have bet 100% that everyone on this panel has had the same experience. Like, you as a couple say, okay, we're going to do this. We have to do it seriously and figure it out and make it work. Except for Jimmy and Amanda.
Every now and then.
If you become popular, and all of a sudden, like, your business blows up, you're making money, you go from, when we were younger, I can't speak for everybody, but when we were younger, when we had our first company, it was just like, it blew up, it was great, and we're just young, and we're like, that was great, and we weren't as business-minded as we are now. So if you're getting into it now, and if you're with a partner, the first thing you want to do is create your business plan, create your outcome first. So whatever your course of action. Every year now, we're like, okay, what's our goal? What do we want to make? What's our income? What's our expense? So we budget everything out now. So this way, when you hit it and you're doing great, it's awesome. You have it all there in front of you. And in advance, you're creating that future. So with your partner, create that future.
And if you have to then change course or pivot, you have a plan, kind of document stuff and understand.
So you have a plan B.
Always have a plan B.
And C.
So now we're actually talking about comedy.
Yeah.
And
We apologize for that. Apologize for that.
Thank you for that question. That was great.
Yeah, that was
We're going to wrap up
really
here.
well
Just ask one last question to bring this together here. Beautiful relationships you all seem to have.
We've never had a fight.
Today or the last hour or the last 15 minutes?
Well, the men have never had fights with each other.
We don't.
you were very nice on the way up here.
Well, you've had ups and downs, I'm sure, and trying times and things like that. To wrap up here, can we just go down the line and just give like a relationship tip? How do you make it work?
Well, Terry stalked you in high school, so.
Make it work.
Yeah, no, it's Robyn's turn. I mean.
Well, I think you just have to have respect for each other.
Yes. Yeah, it's mutual respect.
And you have to talk.
Talk it out.
Like if you don't talk things out, like if there are things on your mind, they tend to spiral into something way worse. Yes.
Yeah. Take it out in the dark, put it in the light.
Yeah.
Talk it over.
Yeah.
So talk with someone,
Get
not
rid of
to
it.
someone.
Right.
At
Take it out of the dark, though, you know.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
I'm gonna say
All right, I'll say,
gratitude.
you're right, honey, I'm sorry. Say it now.
Yes,
Not ever.
You're right, honey, I'm sorry.
For the
Let's get that, Matthew?
Yeah.
I think it's important to recognize a better idea.
I just want to say Billy used to be really cute.
Way cuter than me. Yes, you were, my God.
So I'm gonna say gratitude. And
He's way cuter than us.
when you take, are you done stealing my thunder?
We're romancing right now, I'm sorry.
Probably not.
Apparently not. All right.
So taking a step back and being grateful for what you have.
Listen,
Yeah, gratitude is a wonderful thing.
I think that's what
We've always agreed that a marriage is a conversation. So it's like one wonderful, interesting, ongoing conversation, which includes some negotiation, some listening, probably mostly listening. So,
I think, hey, get that out of my face.
Sorry.
I think the coolest thing Brian ever said to me,
Let's get that out of my face.
that was the opposite. He said, "Get it out of my face."
Oh my God! He's so metal.
So I think the coolest thing Brian said is when early on in our relationship, we were having some turmoil. I live in a world where men should read our minds. It doesn't have that way. And the coolest thing he said to me was, we can create this to be anything we want it to be. I was like,
guys, can we please?
Real quick, if I may, I'm sorry.
Sure.
Real quick, our first, it's gonna end. Our first San Diego Comic-Con, remember, like, she was big, we met all y'all, we met you guys. And remember, you turned to me and you said, we can do this. That's what she said, we can do this. And it's, we can do this.
And we did.
And we did.
Wonderful. And let's try to do this again next year.
Jeff, calm down. Just real quick, how long has everybody been together? Brian and I have been together 33 years.
Wait, sorry, I'm sorry, say again.
How long has everybody, Brian and I have been together 33 years.
Oh.
1989, we've been dating.
Then they broke up.
No, 90, Rich.
Jeff?
No, we got married in '89.
Okay.
Wow.
So.
They never had a fight.
Never.
96.
96.
Woo!
You guys are babies.
Yeah.
We have been married for 47 years.
She hasn't killed you yet.
Tonight's still young.
Thank you all.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys.
Hey everyone, thank you for joining us on Pop XP. If you haven't already, make sure to click that subscribe button and also click the bell for notifications when we go live and we upload some awesome new content. Also, don't forget to head on over to Twitter and follow us at the Pop XP and over on Instagram at the Pop XP. Thanks again everyone, and we'll see you soon.